Aquarius. Good morning, Aquarius. Thank you for finding your way to my little page, my little neck of the woods. This is Empress Energy 333. I'm here to just give you a quick read to give you some little bit of clarity and insight regarding current events in your life as we go into this month of November. We're in the 4th day now, so my apologies. My intent was to get this out to you on the 4th, but life happens, distractions occur. But here we are. I will remind you though, Aquas, there are a lot of you, and this is a collective Aqua read, so everything I say here today may not apply to you, and that's okay. I always urge people, if they haven't done so already, if they want a really, really specific read pertaining to just them, to get a personal read. And that way, everything that comes out in the cards is specifically tailored and targeted toward you. But in this case, if it doesn't apply, let it fly. If it does resonate, great. Okay? I'm going to ask Spirit to please help me to convey a clear, concise message from my Aqua friends that gives them a little bit of clarity regarding anything currently going on in their lives. And give this one last quick shuffle. And go ahead and draw your cards. 7 of Cups. The Emperor. Temperance. 10 of Wands. 5 of Pentacles. And the 6 of Cups. So Aqua, it's looking like it's one of two things. You are either daydreaming a lot, or there may be some confusion. You're in your head a ton about a lot of things. And it could be that Spirit is telling you to, maybe you need to like really focus on these things and meditate, for the possibility of perhaps bringing these things down from your thoughts and into, your actual life, into your reality. So we will clarify that. You got the Emperor, most powerful man in the deck. He is cloaked in that red fabric, but underneath that he has his armor on. I always say him and, the King of Swords is, that signal to, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. It looks like the Emperor is just protecting his throne and protecting his boundaries and standing guard and using his intuition and really putting some thought into things before he proceeds and makes choices and what have you. Very interesting that you got that next to the Temperance card, because the Temperance card is our reminder to just kind of, stay balanced and not go overboard with things, and just, be calm, cool, and collected. You see her with 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land, and she's pouring this water from cups to cups without spilling it. And it's just, the symbol of keeping things in balance and not overindulging, right? And the Temperance card is just, it's just that. When I talk about boundaries and keeping balance, that's what it is. It's also a reminder too, if you're in a hard time, to call on divine help. I don't know what your religious modality is or what your faith is, but it's that reminder to that you have Spirit in your corner. You have, your angels, your ascended masters, your ancestors, whatever it is you believe, but you are protected in a spiritual realm. Temperance card. And I just wanted to get some further points on Temperance, just to really tie that together. It's always a good thing when that card comes out with that reminder, Moderation, harmony, divine timing. The Temperance teaches us to call on the angelic realm for support in taking a balanced approach, yielding results that will be better than we can obtain on our own. And then just a few points about the Emperor. This is the card of inspired action and personal power. It can also, you did get it. It came out next to the Seven of Cups. And I read the cards in the upright. Some people read them in the reverse. But I always put them in the upright because I figure the cards are going to tell the story, whether the card came out meaning the upright meaning or the reverse meaning. And I will make a point that you got the Emperor next to the Seven of Cups. And sometimes the Emperor can mean the inability to take action or be defensive or reactive. So maybe you have some things that you are a little bit indecisive about, that you need to narrow down and focus on one thing and make a choice, okay? Try utilizing affirmations and self-empowerment. Give yourself permission to take up more space and become the authority within your life instead of deferring to others and valuing their opinion over your own. If you've been waiting for a sign, you know, maybe you got a thought or a vision to take inspired action on your goals, this is it. This is the time to speak up or step fully into a leadership role. Being more aggressive in issues related to your career will work in your favor. Go ahead and ask for what you want. The connection to the divine masculine energy in the Emperor card is what leads you to take action from a place of power rather than from a place of fear. This requires having a healthy relationship to your masculine energy and taking up space. Connect to your inner authority, acknowledging ambition, drive, and power in a way that serves the greater good, not just yourself. Next card you pulled was the Ten of Wands. And somehow I feel like you're carrying a burden, Aqua. I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that's with regard to work. Sometimes at this time of the year, you know, we're at the bottom of the year, you know, in work environments, people are closing the books on things, you know, and it could be a real, you know, rumble to the end, you know, where you're urged not to phone it in and take on as much as you can so you can just get it done and clean the slate before you go on Christmas vacation or whatever. I urge you to, if you can, delegate some of these sticks. Don't try to carry this all on your own, okay? You got the Five of Pentacles. I'm not sure if you might be feeling left out in the cold, but, you know, and I'm not sure if this burden that you're carrying is the cause of you feeling that way. But I feel as though you are making your way through some sort of storm in your life. That's not going to apply to everyone. The upshot is, I always say about this card, that they could be very well sitting outside this church or whatever that is, under that stained glass window. They could be sitting there in the storm, just being miserable. But I always notice that they look like they seem to be going through it and walking through that storm. So again, we'll clarify. It looks like you're being called upon to nurture your inner child or just get in touch with your inner child. Sometimes this card can be the signal, the Six of Cups, to spend time with your children if you have children or any children in your life. I get this every now and again when I feel like the vibe is telling me adulting is hard. You know how sometimes you get those moments as a grown-up where you just sort of wish for your childhood again and the simplicity of it. So this card sort of, sometimes it can be a beckoning to do something that lights up that inner child and serves that inner child, okay? So at this point, I am going to go ahead and clarify the cards we put that we pulled already. Very interesting that you got that Six of Cups after the Five of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands, because it seems like you might be a little bit stressed out, and based on that Seven of Cups up top, you might be in your head about some things. It might be time to just, you know, take some time out, do something fun, and again, get in touch with that inner child. Spirit, can you please clarify the cards that we have already pulled? Give us further insight into the story that you are telling us via these cards. Spirit, give us a clear message. Tell us what you want us to hear and show us what you want us to see, Spirit. I thank you for letting me be able to relay this message. Wow, look at that. You got the Seven of Cups again in the same space. So you either really have a strong vision about something, Aqua, or you might just be in your head a lot with just too many options and you need to narrow things down. Nine of Cups. Nine of Wands. And I always say that Nine of Wands and that 10 of Wands are so similar in style. It's like, you know, they both just look tired of these wands, carrying them all by themselves. And at this point, this guy, you know, they're all stacked up and he's got the one, but he's got that bandage on his head and he's like taking a rest, like I'm tired. And then you get to the 10 of Wands and he's just like back carrying them again. I don't know what's going on there, Aqua. Okay, very, very interesting. These clarified fairly well, especially that match up there with that Seven of Cups. Again, it just looks like you have a lot of choices, or you just have a really strong vision that you need to work to bring to fruition. Either way, you are in your head a lot, okay? And this could be you, you know, envisioning whatever you need to do or whatever you would have that would equate to wish fulfillment for you. Maybe you're hard at work at something at the end of the year. This card definitely has a lot of hard work, putting in the work type of vibes that I'm getting from the cards that I'm pulling. But you're tired. You're tired, Aqua. And this is a time of year I'm hoping that you know, you get some time to take that rest that you need in anticipation of the new year. All right, some of you may be entrepreneurs. I'm sensing that some of you watching may be like just straight up workaholics and just don't know when to call it quits until your body tells you to call it quits, right? And we don't want that. But I feel like you're hard workers, you know. I feel like you're like the Eight of Pentacles, where, you know, you're not counting on a paycheck every week to be handed to you. Or in this case, a pentacle. You're over here like casting your own currency. This guy is hard at work. He's very deliberate about what he's doing. And he's putting in the effort to, you know, build this legacy of pentacles, right? And that fell right on top of that 10 of Wands. I feel like it's a reminder to, you know, yay, you're a hard worker, but do not overwork yourself. You pulled the High Priestess. I feel like you already know what I'm telling you. The High Priestess is the flagship card of like listening to your intuition, listening to that voice, not questioning it and trusting it, right? I'm really anxious to see why that came out on top of the Five of Pentacles. But you know, just know that the High Priestess, you know, she has the moon at her feet. And I always say about the moon, it's the light that shines in the darkness, right? The moon, you know, if there's some dark area of uncertainty, the moon is going to shine a light on it. Interesting that you got both the most powerful man in the deck and I don't know if she's the most powerful woman. I think she and the Empress are neck and neck, although the High Priestess does come before the Empress in the tarot deck. But just to give you a few bulleted points, the High Priestess is a flagship card of intuition and self-knowledge. It could also indicate a disconnection from your intuition and a refusal to look within. The High Priestess, like the moon, sees through the darkness, illuminating what is hidden and reminding us that all we need to know is already inside of us. And I'm feeling the urge to read you the little section about career and money regarding the High Priestess card. So I'll do that really quick. Follow intuitive urges when making financial or business decisions, even if you're tempted to investigate endlessly. Know that you have the answers rather than relying on other people's opinions. Make intuitive choices in business rather than over-intellectualizing and rationalizing. Okay? Go within and connect to your divine guidance. And then the next card you pulled was the Hanged Man, which in relation to this Six of Cups, where I told you need to, just take a rest, get in touch with your inner child, do things that will serve and bring joy to your inner child. You got the Hanged Man. And I always see the Hanged Man as a gift. The Hanged Man is telling you to just sit back and wait. The Hanged Man could also symbolize situations where you are being told to wait and you're not in control over how things proceed. So some people may see that as being at a stalemate or a standstill. And I always urge people when they get this card to see that as a blessing, because I always say you can make money back. If you lose material possessions, you can buy more of that, but you can never get back time. I don't care how rich you are, you can't buy back time. And so when we're given a gift of time to just sit and wait, that is a good thing. And it just gives you time to, go into your own thoughts, really strategize before you make your next move. I feel like Spirit is telling you, you need to just take a break. You deserve it. So at this point, I've verified. I like to clarify now with my smallest deck of cards. And this is just an opportunity for Spirit to give us any last points to walk away with from this reading. These are the cherries on top. Just reinforcements if you need them. I always say I use 3 decks of cards because it gives Spirit the opportunity to repeat itself if that's necessary. So let's go ahead and get further insight. Spirit, just give us some last takeaways and points for our Aquarius watchers. To sort of validate what you've already told us here, which the main theme is, I think, Aquarius has been hard at work and needs to get out of their own head and just take a break. Wheel of Fortune, 6 of Swords, the Tower, the Death card. You got the Temperance card again. And you got the 3 of Wands. The Wheel of Fortune just, and this is really good that you got this Wheel of Fortune, given the fact that you also got the Tower and the Death card. If you're new to tarot, please don't be scared of that. Do not be scared. The Death card rarely means the actual loss of a life, but maybe the death of a situation or a recurring thought or a bad relationship, whatever the case. But Wheel of Fortune just reminds us that everything is a cycle. At any given time, I always say that all of us humans are in the space depicted by one of the major arcana. And every day we're going through one or more, usually more, of the pictures depicted in the minor arcana. So we're all going through this all the time. You're always going to have your temperance moments, your lover's moments, the Fool, you'll be starting a cycle, the Tower, the end of a cycle, you're always going through any of that at any given time. And the Wheel of Fortune reminds us to call on our faith and our, whatever spirituality you follow in order to cope and endure those hills and valleys. And I always like to end it on an upward swing because, you're going to go through some unfortunate times, that are less than favorable for you. That's just par for the course. That's the human condition. However, I focus less on that and focus more on the fact that things always tend to come around to the good. So just remember that. I feel like you're leaving a situation, headed toward greener pastures, if you will, leaving rough waters, going to calmer waters. And the fact that you got that on top of both the Emperor and the wish fulfillment, I feel like even though you might be tired, exhausted, maybe going through a dark time, I feel like better days are coming. You did get the Tower. on top of that Temperance card and on top of your Nine of Wands, I feel like whatever has been a questionable or bad situation for you, all that is going to be leveled so you can start fresh and new. And you also got the Death card after that, also indicating the end of something, the end of some sort of cycle. Okay, so I feel like you're having a tower moment in your life, Aquarius, where um, everything is just getting cleared out so that you can just come back to the drawing board and start again. Very comforting that Temperance appeared after that tower and that Death card, just always reminding you that no matter what happens, you're always spiritually protected. Okay, I have a feeling that leveling that happened via the tower and the Death card will give you that clarity that you need to just stand up and survey the land. Look at everything you've built, give yourself credit for everything that you've done thus far, and go forth into your future. This is the card of like possibilities and new ideas. This man is standing amongst the three wands and he's looking out at some ships on the ocean. And I've been told that those are his ships. And he's marveling at what he's built, but also thinking about what's next. Be very beautiful that you got that card at the end of your read, because it's sort of, that's like me turning you outward and sending you on your way, because better days are coming, Aqua. And I'm just going to leave you with some points that my book makes, well, not my book, but the book that I love to reference in tarot, because she's just so concise with the meanings of the cards. So I sort of like to use her as a supplemental thing as I'm explaining. But the Three of Wands is the card of expansion and growth. It can also mean delays and disappointment, but it doesn't eclipse the expansion and growth. And it says adventure lies ahead of you as you expand into a new role or identity. You have plenty of support. Surrounding yourself with inspiring people will help you expand to the next level of personal growth. You are expanding your spiritual practice, whether you have the support of a community or you are calling in new friendships. Consider making travel plans that will expand your horizons and inspire you. Well, that is sort of related to what I told you about, getting back to nurturing that inner child, right? Maybe you need to take a trip. Maybe that's something that will just, get you back on track, like just fundamentally, to that person that you are without all the accoutrement, right? Vacations can often nurture our inner child. So with that, Aqua, that is your read. I hope you got something out of that. I really hope you guys are doing well and just not overexerting yourselves. Take that rest if you can. Listen to your intuition, because spirit is really adamant about you just taking a time out. Okay, Aqua? So take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. I ask that you please press like. That's I guess that's sort of a way of maybe paying for a free read if you watch this far. It really makes YouTube creators feel good when they see those likes and subscribe. So if you want to do a random act of kindness today, that would be the one. Thank you, Aqua. I love you, and come back for the next read. Bye.